I just took a shower, so if my hair looks crazy, that's why. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another crochet video. Yay! A couple months ago, I stumbled upon a sweater crochet tutorial, and it was just like an easy tutorial on how to make a sweater with little shapes on it. And I saw that, and immediately I was like, I need to make a Christmas sweater like that. Because every year I want an ugly Christmas sweater, and every year I can't find one that I actually like. So I decided I'm just gonna make one. Let's get into it. You are going to need a yarn, obviously, of your choice. I want to do like a red sweater with like Christmas trees, a measuring tape. I'm going to use a 5mm crochet hook because that's the one that she uses in the video. Stitch markers. I don't have stitch markers, so I'm going to use bobby pins. You're also going to need a way to count your rows. I'm literally just going to mark my rows on a piece of paper. I have the minimum amount of supplies that I need to make this sweater, so I don't have that. It's not necessary, but it's a good idea to make what are called bobbins. That's what she called them. I've never heard that word before in my life. So like for me, I'm making Christmas trees. I need to find out the exact amount of yarn I need for one Christmas tree, and then cut that and then have that rolled up on my little bobbin. And then last but not least, it's the most important thing, you need a grid. You need a grid for your shape. I don't have one yet, but I'm gonna find one. So we are now screen recording. So here's the tutorial. Oh my gosh, look, she's saying the next step. Don't look, that's cheating. I found another video of another girl. She just teaches you how to find a grid and how to use a grid, how to follow a grid to crochet. So what she said to look up, Christmas tree grid. And then go to images. This one's interesting. I don't really like it. This is really good actually. This looks like the one in her thing. I will save. Ta-da! So this is my grid. My supplies list is official. Thank you. Now the first thing to do is to test your graph, just to get an idea of what it's going to look like and if that's actually what you want on your sweater. So right here at the bottom I have 15 squares. So that means I have to chain 16. Okay, so now that I've chained 15, I have my first row, and now we're gonna flip our work, and I'm assuming we're chaining one, because why wouldn't you chain one? And then we're going to do double crocheting. To have double crochet, you're just gonna pull your string over your needle, go through your next hole, wrap around again, and then you're just gonna pull that through all 3 little loops, and then you're done. So yeah, and then you do that. And so now on my second row, you have to switch colors. And I've never done this in my life. How she does it in the video is that she has her second color on standby. Does half of her half double crochet, wraps around, pulls it through, has 3 little loops, gets her second color, wraps it around, and then pulls all the way through. I just visualized it in my head. I think that's correct. If it's not, I'll let you know. But I think I'm right. Oh, also, after every row, mark that shiz. Mark it, like on a piece of paper, or count it. That's how you do it. I'll be back when I'm done with my first square to let you guys know if it worked or not. Hello, it is a different day. And I have a lot more information than I did the first time. I did this, and it's not bad, but it's not good either. So I redid it, and I just finished it. And look how pretty. So now that we've done one of our graph, we need to measure it. Measured how tall it is, measured how wide it is, and I wrote that down. And now, even though it's so beautiful, we have to undo it. You're gonna cut the green, or whatever color you're using for your shape. You need to cut it because you need to know how much of that color yarn you need to like complete your grid, to complete the shape that you're doing. When we do the body of it, we're gonna do one continuous panel. We're not gonna have the green going through the entire panel. That's just a waste of yarn. Now we're gonna work on the body. So we need to figure out how wide we want it and how long we want it. The best way to do that is to measure a sweater that you already have. I'm gonna measure this one because this has been my favorite sweater for like years. So I'm gonna measure it from seam to seam, from the shoulder all the way to the bottom. And once I have the lengths, measurements of my sweater, I'm gonna use that to figure out how many of these I need to make on my body. I'm gonna divide the length of the sweater by the length of my square to find out how many squares it'll take to make it that long. And then after I figure out how many of the squares fit into the width or length that I want, I'm gonna draw them in here so I can like follow it. Because I'll show you guys what my chart looks like when I'm done, and then maybe it'll make a little bit more sense. I ended up making it 6 squares across and then 4 squares going up and down. It says 4.5, but I ended up making 4. To decide how many stitches wide you want your sweater to be, just multiply the amount of squares you have by how many stitches across your graph is. Hello, finally, guess what I finished? Both the front and the back panels for my damn sweater. If you have made it this far, congratulations, this is difficult. And it took me so long to do it. It took me like 3 weeks. Now that I've finished those, I've learned a lot, and I want to tell you guys things that I don't think the original video talked about. These are kind of things that I wung it. They're not necessarily things that I need to say, but I feel like some people would appreciate me saying this. First of all, you're gonna have to keep track of your rows, obviously. But not only do you have to keep track of the rows on a piece of paper, you have to keep track on your actual graph grid thing. I would do it on my phone, and each time I finished a row, I would just kind of crop the image to take that row off so I knew what row I was on. Also, your stitch markers are going to have to be in all the time. And like, it's kind of a given, but also I didn't really realize that that was how I was gonna crochet. The sweater itself is essentially just a grid, except instead of actually making a bunch of squares, they're going straight across. So you need to keep track of each square, basically. Every 15 stitches, because that's how wide my grid was, I had a stitch marker to mark that I was done with a square. So let's get into how to do the armhole thingies and then the neck hole. This is where the armhole would start. I based mine off of what the initial girl in her video did. To make the sleeve holes, you're basically going to take off a certain amount of stitches from each side, depending on how like deep in you want it. Her initial grid was 21 stitches wide, and when she took off the side, she took off, I think, 10 stitches. So that's like about half. So that's what I did too. Mine was 15 stitches wide, and I took off 7 from the side, on each side. So when you decide how much you want to take off from each side, all you have to do is go through your row like normal. And once you reach the amount of stitches that you want to take off, all you have to do is chain 1 and then turn around. This right here is 7 stitches long. So this is what I took off of my initial length of it. And now we're gonna go and make the neck hole. She again said that she wung it. So I had to also do it based off of what she said that she did. You're going to have to decide how many stitches wide you want the neck hole to be at its widest. So I ultimately decided that I wanted my neck hole to be about 28 stitches wide. So then, this is where math comes in. So if you're not good at math, bear with me, because I'm not good at math either. Let's say it's just like this still. From this end to this end, it is 76 stitches wide, and I wanted this hole to be 28 stitches wide. So the whole thing is 76 inches wide. So from 76, I subtract 28 to find out how many stitches all the way across I have left. And then I have 48 stitches left, and then we divide that by 2 because we have 2 different sides, which is ultimately 24 stitches. So then on each side, you're gonna go 24 across, chain 1, and then do a decrease, and then go all the way back, and then you decrease all the way up. So I think you have 3 decreases in total. I have 16 rows, and I started decreasing at row 10 because you need at least 6 rows to decrease 3. And now, to show you how to decrease. Chain 1, flip your work, and then you do half of a double crochet. And instead of, finishing it, go over your needle again and push through the next hole. And so you should have 5 loops in total on your hook, and then you wrap around your needle once, pull through all of them, and then you decrease. But yeah, that's where I am now, and now we get to do the ribbing. She gave no detail for the ribbing besides that she does hers 10 stitches across, 10 single crochets across for the wrists, and for the waist or the bottom, whatever, she does like less than that for the neck, because if she did 10 it would be too high. But if you want it high, then do 10. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure my wrists. I'll see how long I want them, and then yeah. Hello. It's the next day. I still have not finished the ribbing. Crocheting like the ribbing for the wrist, and I'm doing the back side of like my waist portion right now. And I was thinking about the tutorial that I'm following, and she literally was like, yeah, so just here's how to do ribbing. I make it this wide and that's it. I was thinking like, how do you do the neck? And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, if I did the ribbing, it would be a straight line. And this isn't a straight line. So how do I do it? I don't know, we'll figure it out. Finished. So I got 2 wrists, the back and the front. Aw yeah. Onto the sleeves. I'm at the point in making this sweater where I want to give up. She was very broad about how to make the sleeves, so I'm just winging it. She said to make the wrist, to start at the wrists and make them smaller as you go up. So you need to increase until it's as wide as you want it to be. I'm making the wrist part about 55 stitches wide, and I'm gonna try to get to 65 stitches wide. And the increase is really easy. Essentially, you just do, so you go about like normal, and you can either do it in the very last hole or the second to last. Do a double crochet like normal, and then instead of going to the next one, you do a double crochet in that same hole, and now you have a new one. To get how long I needed the sleeves to be, I measured the wingspan of a sweater I already had, and then I measured the width of my front body panel. Then I just got the difference between the two, then divided by 2, and then that's the length of your sleeve. This is something that I thought I would have gotten done a lot sooner, but this just takes forever. Like, no matter how good you are at crocheting, it just takes forever. And I was getting kind of annoyed because I was like, wow, I'm really putting all of this effort into a sweater that I can only wear once a year. But then I realized it's a good thing that I can only wear it once a year, because it's probably going to come out really ugly and really wonky because it's my first sweater. So now that I'm better and I've learned a lot, I can make cute sweaters that I can actually wear like every day, and they won't be ugly or dumb. Just my Christmas sweater will be dumb. And it's on brand for an ugly Christmas sweater, so I'll update you guys if my spirit ever comes back. So it's Monday, and even though I had a plan for yesterday to just crochet until my fingers bled to get as far through my sleeves as possible, this is all I got done. Also, I figured out how wide to make the sleeves. Essentially, you want to make it just wide enough for it to connect from this side to that side. My birthday party is this weekend, and I wanted to wear it to my party. It's Monday. I think I can finish it by Friday, and hopefully I do. Hopefully I finish it earlier, because I also have to post this video. I think that's it. I'm gonna watch Friends now. This is footage of Jocelyn and I frantically putting my sweater pieces together because it was time for my party. I don't remember what order I ended up putting everything together, but here is a screenshot from the initial video and how she says to put everything together. My only advice is make sure you're putting everything on the right way, because I put the ribbing for the back of my sweater inside out, and I was very upset about it, but you can't see it, so it's okay. But yeah, if you've made it this far, you should be done with your sweater, and here's the final sweater. Ta-da! Ooh. I really like it. It came out so much better than I thought it was going to. It has many imperfections, but it's okay because they're my imperfections and I love them. Look how clean these Christmas trees are. Freaking beautiful. I did such a good job. But yeah, I didn't finish the neckline because it was too crazy. I might go back and finish it, and if I do go back and finish it, it'll probably be in like 3 months. I think it came out really good. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you were able to follow this video. Go make yourself a sweater. Give yourself like 2 months to do it, because that's how long it took me. But just do it, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys make your own sweaters. And yeah, see you guys next time. Peace. Happy holidays.